Welcome guys back to the channel. In this very video today, I'll be flipping an account from $25 to $2,000 for a client. As requested, he pleaded with me that she grow this account to something very massive, and you all know what I do. I do go small account to something very massive. If you have a small account that you have been losing for long, you can reach me and I'll grow it to something very massive and profitable. Okay, at the very point I mapped out, we entered the buy trade on XAUSD and we're currently running in profit. This is $25. We entered on our trade on XAUSD and we're currently making profit at the very point, because the more profit I'm making, the more I'm accumulating more positions. If I'm running in profit, I'll be adding more positions and more so that we can capitalize on it. At this very point, we entered the sniper entry at this very point, and I'll tell you the reason why we took the very trade and why I'm making very profit at this very point. We entered the sniper entry at this very zone here. That was a very massive zone here. We entered the sniper entry at this very point. At this very point, because this is $25 at the very trade, and any minor mistake we make at the very point, we are blowing this $25. And currently, we are going to try our best not to blow this account. So from the very point, we entered the sniper entry and the market started pulling up massively. And currently at the very point, I saw a massive zone again at the very point, and we currently enter the massive trade at the very point. I'm making huge profit at the very point, and currently we're running in massive profits. So let's dive into the reason why I took the very trade and the reason why I'm profitable at the very point, and you see me how good account from $25 to $2,000 step by step. So if you watch here, you all know what you do. The best time frames to trade in the market is higher time frames. That is when you can see clearly the market and the market structure, where the market is going to and where the market is coming from. Okay, if you watch, you can see everything here is choppy and you're not really understanding what is happening here. Okay, so currently from the very point, you zoom into 4 hours time frame. We took this into 4 hours time frame and we took it to a daily time frame. And the daily time frame showed me something at that very point. The 4 hours time frame and the daily time frame, they showed me something at that very point. So if you zoom into daily time frame is telling me that the market is creating a bullish momentum at that very point. That the market is creating a bullish momentum. The market wants to break out from a bullish momentum. So if you watch here, we did very trend at the very point. We just mapped at the very tip here. You can see what the market is doing there. The market was currently rejecting. The market rejected in the past, rejected. The market is currently at the very point. Okay, so I'm expecting the market to break out from there, and I'll tell you the reason why I'm expecting the market to break out. And if you also watch here, you can see that the market was also creating some momentum at that very point. The market was creating some momentum. We're testing from the very point. And currently, the market is currently creating a pyramid that will break out. So I'm expecting the market to break out massively from this very pyramid at the very point. And if you also watch, you can know that when the market is breaking out from the pyramid, the market must occupy this very zone here. The market must break out to that very point. The reason why it's doing this is, one, to grab the liquidity at this very zone here. There's a liquidity at the very zone here. To grab that liquidity at the very zone and spike to the very point. That is the TP in this kind of trade at the very point. That is why we are making huge profits at this very point, and we took the very trade and we're making huge profit at the very point. So for me not to delay my time and be waiting for a trade to give me more this morning when I can take other trades and make huge profits, let me close the very trade and enter my next trade and show you how I make huge profits. But in this very trade like this, I'm expecting the trade to buy massively to that very point. Take some days, but the market is targeting that upper layer at that very point. So currently at the very point, I'll be closing up trades in profit. I'll be closing up positions at the very point. Our currently balance is $682.71 at the very point. So at the very point, let's go and analyze our next trade to take our entry and make huge profits at this very point. So guys, at the very point, we entered our first trade and currently up in $682.71 at the very point. And currently the trade have currently retraced. This is still that XUSD trade. The trade have currently retraced into my previous zone at that very point. My previous zone I'm after here. And the market will fail to break out from this zone, because there's a very massive zone at the very point that the market must fail to break that zone. The market will start buying up from there. That very point. So currently I've entered my buy at the very point, enter my buy, the very trade, enter my buy with $0.50, enter my buy at the very point. At the very point, let's watch and see the market buy further and give us our profit at the very point. Let's go to count to a mighty height at the very point. See you and see how we flip account and complete the challenge of $25 to $2,000 for this client of mine. Let's take account to something very massive, and the target is for the market to break out from this upper zone and spike up to that very point to fill this very position and to complete this W setup. From the very point, you can see that the market gave a very big W setup that needs to be filled and completed before it will rest and retrace. So let's watch and see what XUSD has for us. So guys, the trade we entered is currently buying massively. I'm closing our trade in profit, closing our positions. Currently we're up in $2,077.21 at the very point. Come and see what happened at the very point. I told you the trade will not break this zone. The trade will start buying massively from the very point, and currently the trade started buying massively. As I said the trade will buy massively, and it's targeting this very height at that very point. And currently this trade was buying ASAP. It was buying immediately from that very point. I entered from that very point. It started buying massively. It's buying massively from the very point. I'm going to buy to that very point. Currently we have passed the very challenge of taking account from $25 to $2,000 on just one trade on XUSD, just one setup at the very point. So I've passed the very challenge. See you in my next video. Peace out.